folks, we're here today to do a review for the new Castles of Mad King Ludwig Collector's Edition. We just got this in the mail the other day, and I've been real excited to share it with Holly. And she's agreed to not be angry with me for buying a super deluxe version of a game because it was years ago. And why be angry now, right?
Right. Why?
I don't know. So originally I filmed a unboxing. I was going to do the unboxing and reboxing, but this game was incredibly intuitive as far as like how it went together and where everything went. It's really not hard to do at all. I mean, they make it so easy. There's things, everything's very clearly labeled where it goes, and there's specific shapes. So I decided to kind of just skip the unboxing and the reboxing and just go straight to the review. We played our third game.
It is so much fun. It is so much fun.
Well, we kind of went from 0 to 3 games. Like we never had played it before. I showed Holly some video footage of the old version of the game. How did you think it looked before?
Boring. I probably wouldn't have played it because actually I'm very visual person, and so I'm really drawn to little towers and color and building rooms and stuff that are I don't know, use your imagination when you're putting them together. So the old game was just gray, kind of like maybe the back of these tokens here, and it was just not something I would have wanted to play with.
I think the tiles themselves were similar, although apparently they've upgraded the art. I haven't really taken a close look at the old versions of these, so this might have looked fine. But up here, the area where you score and you pull the different rooms out, all the different sizes, and the way the scoreboard and all the buildings and stuff and all. It's so colorful and nice, and the King's Favors, these nice poker chips and stuff are really, really neat.
These things.
So we didn't have the old version to really compare to, except for like some visual stuff on it, but it did not look
on the internet.
On
other channels.
The stuff I saw on YouTube I wouldn't have felt compelled to go out and grab this, even though the mechanism seemed like something we'd enjoy. Now, Holly, I got Holly into board games when I started kind of dragging her in. One of the first games we played a lot together was Carcassonne.
Yeah.
And to me, this really kind of feels like Carcassonne with drafting. So, because you've got this mechanism where you take turns being the person that sets the price of everything, and when it's your turn to set the price, then all the money comes to you. So there's a couple of different things you've got in your head where you're like, oh, I want this. I hope they don't buy it. So maybe I'll make it more expensive. But, what do they want? Because maybe I'll make that cost a little bit more so I can afford to buy the thing. So
and you're building and scoring as you go. That's very much like Carcassonne in that aspect.
I figured, so in this game there's a couple of different things. You've got these King's Favors, which are little poker chips here at the top of the board, and that's something to consider at the end of the game, but it's sort of
a goal goal to kind of go forward.
This game ends up with a lot of goals. So you'll start off with 2 of these cards. And these cards kind of give you a direction to work in too. So you've got between these and then that, and then maybe we played with every expansion.
All the
Royal Decrees,
which we haven't done those yet.
That seemed like just another version of these things.
Point builders.
Yeah, another thing to consider for points and stuff. But all of these things give you different directions every game. So I really don't. I feel like you could play this game a lot of times and not really have the same game.
Yeah, because all sorts of different rooms come out. You have different goals. I mean, like last time we played, I had 3 towers out here, but that was one of my goals, and 2, I like towers.
Yeah, I thought it was interesting playing with the moats expansion too. It really kind of limits you, so you have to make a real tight version of your castle if you're going to get the moats in there. I have to say I don't really have a favorite expansion, but what was amazing to me is we went from never playing this game to playing it with every possible expansion except for one, which is kind of just seemed a little bit repetitive to me to have like another goal. But we might throw it in there too next time just for something else. But
I think it would help when we have more people playing, more than just two. That would be a good way to help other people get more points and stuff in different ways, because you can only have so many swans on the cards and things like that to build towards and get points.
I didn't think of that. Yeah, we've only just played with the two of us.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't had any friends over yet. We just got this recently.
Week. Yeah.
So we haven't had any friends over to play, or our kid hasn't come back from college to come play with us. So it's just been the two of us playing this a couple of times. So man, it is great at 2-player.
Oh yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I think the length is perfect.
Yeah, it was about an hour.
Yeah, it's been about a real consistent hour, almost. I think the first time we played it was an hour and a half, but there was a little bit of
we were learning.
We were figuring it out. But yeah, it doesn't take a long time to knock this out. Everything just pulls up out of course, the storage for this and the components just goes without saying are extremely nice. Like it feels like a deluxe game, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, these buildings and stuff are really cool. I think the buildings actually look kind of cheap, but I'm a little bit of a model snob. You know, I build and paint these things and stuff too. But for something right out of the box that I didn't have to paint or do anything with, they look great. Yeah. And I really appreciate the metal coins they came with.
Mm-hmm. One thing, because they're heavy.
Yeah,
they're satisfying to have in your hand, I guess, if that's a thing.
Yeah, I think that is.
They're substantial.
I think board games are a tactile experience, so things like that they matter. One thing that I worry about is the game trays insert that the metal coins go in are the same ones that the poker chips go in, which are also nice but heavy. Mm-hmm. And those things in the same tray is high potential for that tray itself to kind of get beat up over time. So I think that tray in particular probably like. Either they should have maybe separated the heavy things into two different spots, or maybe reinforced it a little bit, because it really seems a little weak right there in that one spot. But just because of the weight on that vacuum form tray, it seems so. And that's a very like nitpicky critique for that, because it's still amazing. It's still great. I don't think it wouldn't be damaged, but you might have to be a little bit more careful.
So it's really fun. My favorite part, outside of getting the towers, is I think it's fun to make a creative space that you go into, like how you would want it if you had your own castle. So like on mine, it's all random where the cards and stuff pull up, and I was able to create this maze that led into a pumpkin patch that led into the the coach house. So, and then that goes into, across the moat and into the foyer, and, you can build little downstairs secret alcoves and secret rooms and things like that. And it's, I don't know, it gets my imagination going, and just, I don't know, kind of create spaces. It's fun.
You're telling a little story.
You are.
So what was your favorite part of the castle you built this time? Is it the pumpkin patch or the...
I like my outside spaces, but...
your big tower in the middle?
Yeah, I like the tower. I do like how I have a secret passage from the foyer to the Duchess's chamber, and off that she has her little sanctum, and off that she has a little like cubby secret room, and then again off the sanctum, then it goes downstairs into another dark room downstairs in the basement. So she's got all these rooms that like secret passages that you can that built off of it.
I have a nap room that's connected by 2 secret passages and no other way. So a super secret nap room connected to the freezer, so I could pop in for a frozen snack.
Yeah, yeah.
So get some ice cream, take a nap.
Right. So they totally don't have to make any kind of sense anyway, but because ultimately you're just going for points. But it is fun to kind of adjust and see what you can make and a story you can tell. But again, that's just I don't know if that's just me or what, but that's a fun aspect of it. I think that's really the funnest part, and I like the swans. I don't know what that's supposed to really add to the game, but
It's just
they are fun and they're pleasing, and it's
that's kind of, I guess you when you think of this idyllic castle, maybe there'd be swans swimming around swimming around some water features and stuff, and in fact the whole scoreboard seems to be like a little lazy river.
Yeah, that's true.
It looks a little bit like a lazy river with your swans that kind of go down. So at some areas on both the score, we've had the player board up, and there's like a frozen one that's kind of oriented vertically, and then there's like a summer one that's oriented horizontally, and it's an interesting, but depending on the shape of your table, the space that you're playing in, you've got some different options for how you orient this thing. So it seemed they're both pleasing to me, like either way. What I did notice is sometimes the way the scorekeeper goes around, it goes around these green boxes. There are these green inserts that hold all the different rooms and stuff. And every now and then a swan will go behind some of those boxes, and you can't see really what the score is. And maybe if you're playing a solo version, or maybe just two players, you're going to have to kind of go around the board and go over there and figure out where things are. But again, that's
kind of fun too.
It's kind of neat that it does that. I've never seen a scorekeeper that goes like kind of around components like that and stuff. So
yeah, it's not just the outside of your box. It's you have an adventure. The swans go for a swim. And speaking of swans, for the frozen side, they do have the option of having these sparkly kind of frozen ones that are more
it's a
frosty, yeah, and they're all have like a metal little weight in them, so that they don't just that they stick to the board more. I mean, when I say stick, they don't stick, but they're weighted and they don't go flying.
They're
everywhere.
a little harder to knock around accidentally and stuff.
Yeah.
And all these little plastic swan tokens are interesting too. Way too small to see but
they're different colors, and you get points by them having a variety.
Even the thickness of the cards and stuff, it feels good. It feels premium. It's got nice thick player aids that are the perfect amount of information, kind of like they remind you how to score things or what happens when you finish a room off. Little stuff that eventually you're going to pick up, but maybe not for your first 4 or 5 games. So yeah, it's a nice, concise little bit of information. It is. There's a lot of iconography in this game, but
it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. It's real intuitive. I think you pick it up real quick. We play a lot of games, and it's kind of hard to tell sometimes, like, what's a hard game or an easy game or something.
We picked up this really fast.
Yeah, I feel like this is like a good mid-range game. It's probably, I think price point, it'd probably be a little out of the range of like the gateway sort of games, and complexity too is a little bit out of the range of that. But
I don't know how much it costs, so I won't comment.
I'm not telling. But it really wasn't that bad, and for a big box game, as far as like taking up a whole lot of space, I think that this is this isn't bad. This is a lot smaller than many other big box games that I have, but man, there's so much in here, and I can't wait to just keep playing, and I can't wait to show it to my friends and stuff too, because I think that they're really gonna love it.
Oh, I do too. You know what these remind me of?
What?
The buildings in Tapestry.
Oh yeah.
Very similar to that.
Yeah, it does kind of remind me of that. They're a little bit more hollow, I think. Well, I'm trying to remember. Are the Tapestry ones hollow? I think they
I
are
think
too.
so.
But I guess that's about all we have to say about this one. It's fun. It's fun. It's been a lot of fun to play.
Real easy to put away.
Yeah, real easy to
Yeah.
pull out, real easy to put away, and real quick to pick up.
One of my favorite quick games that we have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's neat because it's fast, but it feels substantial. Like
Yeah,
you
it
feel
does.
like you played, like you got your little thinky cap on, and you
Yeah.
figured a bunch of stuff up, and you feel clever, or maybe like, whoops, I could have done better. And I'm usually like 50-50. But definitely a recommendation from us, and I think that's all we have to say about it. Till next time, enjoy your games, and we'll see you soon. Bye.